it a little dark? No, it's okay.
Hey, everybody! We're back!
Satnam.
Satnam. This is such a wonderful thing in my life that I get to come and talk to you. You know, and one of my friends was well, you can just, do the computer and do it from there. I mean, no, I want to touch her. I want to feel her. So
we want to be together.
We do. We want to be together. And we want to be with you. So we're going to talk about a few things, but I really want to just start it off with, it's like this is intense energy that is going on. But at the same time, I feel like almost like giggling. Like there's like this magic, like something good is happening. Even though sometimes it feels a little rough. Can you talk about that? Like, am I imagining that I'm feeling like something big's happening? Tell me I'm not. It's not a fantasy. We'll talk about that.
You're okay.
I'm okay.
You're okay. You're okay. We feel the energies. And we feel them in many different ways. But something is happening. And let's start out with, this is what we've been waiting for. We want to wake up. We want to be enlightened. I'm not sure about that word. It kind of brings this fantasy. But awakening and consciousness and more available to be present to who we are and what's happening, we want that. And this is the energy, and this is the energy that's making this happen. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable, but be with it. It's okay. It's okay to feel uncomfortable because that's what's happening. And it's the beginning of something new always requires the ending of something old.
Yeah, so there's some letting go then.
There's a lot of letting go. There's a lot of review of the past. Right now we're in a moment of review of the past. And that's the Capricorn. I can explain it astrologically. It's happening right now. The past is in Capricorn. The South Node is in Capricorn. And the South Node is very close, within 2 degrees of Pluto and Saturn. So what's happening now is the past is coming up and we're feeling it. And we're feeling like something's going on. So it's it's kind of uncertain. Mm-hmm. But it's also like, oh, I'm doing that old program. Oh, don't feel bad. If you can see what you're doing,
right,
then you can release it. You're like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't have to.
No.
But if you can't see it, it's running you through your subconscious. And consciousness is about seeing it and saying, you know what? I'm not going to make that choice anymore. I'm available consciously to say, no, I'm not going to do that. And then it goes away. It's so magical. That's the magic, is that when you can see it, if you can become conscious, you can make a different choice, and then the new choices create your reality.
So I just thought of a question while you're talking.
Of course.
Because of all our conversations. So do we think of like Saturn like that, the father, so then that Pluto's the mother? Or what?
Well, actually, Saturn and Pluto are both feminine energies.
Ah, okay.
So Pluto deals with the deep feminine.
Mm-hmm.
That's one topic. And the other topic is Saturn. And Saturn deals with manifestation, the world, what's happening, how you create in physical reality. Saturn has gotten into, thinking that it's male, but, during the patriarchy, the male kind of took over whatever it felt like. But
and then that would be really debilitating if the manifesting energy was just, so to say, associated with a man. That would really affect us. Right. It has really affected us.
It has really affected us because our manifesting has been based on greed and scarcity. Mm-hmm. And in the unawakened male, not man, just the unawakened mind, we think of scarcity and struggle when we think of manifesting. But when there's the feminine flowing energy, it's always there. It's always available. We just have to tune into it and relax enough and be present enough to make it happen.
You know, I wonder about women in, teachers, healers, coaches, all that. And most of them are like poor. Like, what is the deal that we can't seem to empower ourselves doing what we want to be doing? And I want to just stick this part in. And then as a woman, I know like certain students or whatever, they can't afford the whatever. And a lot of times I'm going to figure out a way for them to do it. And I know you did that with one, and she ended up being the illustrator for one of your books. So how do we know when not to overgive kind of thing and stay in that what is my worth and how to be prosperous?
Well, those are a lot of questions.
I know. That was like 20 questions. Go.
20 questions. And how much time do I have?
You do have, 25 more minutes.
Okay. So
one at a time.
So we're going to deal with manifesting
Okay.
and creating. One point is it has to do with our value. We have to value ourselves to manifest, because our value, how we value ourselves, is what we put out to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do another piece.
Okay.
We have to get back into that. But manifestation is a co-creative process. Life is co-creation. We think we're by ourselves. We're not by ourselves. We can't be by ourselves. We're made up of universal energies, and universal energies dance through us all the time. So what are we dancing with? If we're dancing with, oh, I'm not good enough, it's not going to work, there's not enough, then that's the energy that we put out to the universe, and that's what we create.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because it's a reflection, it's a mirror, it's an interactive process. So we have to move into co-creation, not only as, that's the reality, but it has to be an experience. That's what we are actually in. And we have to experience that when we have a negative thought and negative energies, we get not very much back. Mm. But then there's so many nuances, because It's not me. It's more like, what's my value? I value myself, and I offer my value to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the realism of Saturn. Our support structure. Of course, the first thing is how we view ourselves. Can we attract people to support us? Can we put out the good vibes? Can we ask for what we need? So we need a whole structure. Can be small structure. I just have one person helping me. Now I have more than one. My business partner.
You're right.
But we kept it small. We don't want complications. We'll just do everything ourselves. That kept things fairly small, but also pretty big. So how can we be realistic? Mm. So this is a really important point, because Saturn says, how many resources do you actually have? Not a fantasy like God's going to drop me into all this money from heaven, and then we're going to be able to do all this stuff. No. How many books can you sell? How many courses can you teach? Be realistic. Women are... She's...
This is why I love this book. Let's talk about our fantasy.
Yeah. Women love fantasy. Yogi Bhajan said, woman's comfort zone is fantasy. That's true. Okay, don't deny it. It's true. I love fantasies too. But Saturn says, for manifesting, for being in the world, you got to get rid of your fantasies and work with reality. So we have to be real about what resources we have, what we can do with them, and work with that. Then we can expand. We can't jump to the top of the mountain. Saturn is the planet that's associated with Capricorn. Capricorn is the big energy shift that's happening right now. Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node are almost together, within 2 degrees. That's pretty close. That's kind of like this.
They're like, they can touch each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Capricorn energy.
Yeah.
How can we climb the mountain of life?
And the fantasy, like, I know I've done it, because of the times we are, like, we have this thing, like, we have to be famous to be successful. And then it's like, and then every single healer and every single person is desiring that. And what, I've realized, and you kind of done it, is actually by being real, keeping it small, I have more. More in every way, though, like more fun in my life, more prosperity because I'm not wasting so much energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
There
real.
is this weird thing, like, first of all, the fantasy to be famous, I think, is for affection and attention. But I also think I plugged it in like, well, if I'm not famous, I won't be able to make a living in this realm that you and I are in. I don't know if that's making sense, but it is not true.
Start with what you can give. And base your value on how many people you can serve and how much you can uplift other people. And then you start feeling good about yourself. You start feeling good. It makes me so happy that others get some value with what I share.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. Let's say we have a choice to be famous or to give value. There's no choice.
There's no choice.
It's like if you can help somebody, that's the feminine. And actually should be the mission of the male, of men, is to serve life. So if we're serving life, things will work out. We'll be happy. We give value to ourselves. Once we're serving people, we're like, we feel valuable. So you don't start with, oh, am I okay? No, start with how many people you can serve. Maybe it's a small group, but they're all shifting their lives. That's huge. Even one person shifting their life is awesome. So then you feel good, and then there's a whole new dynamic going on.
Now, I know this Capricorn is going to be taking us into 2020, but the nodes won't be like this. So what is Cancer doing to this whole situation?
That is the South and the North nodes work together. So they're the polarity pair. The South node is the past, and the North node is the future. And Cancer is the divine feminine. So we're moving towards the divine feminine. That'll happen in 2020. We'll move into that. So we're preparing now to move into that, and we have to heal the Capricorn. And Capricorn is really interesting. People think, oh, the goat climbing up the mountain. Well, if you look at the glyph, the symbol for Capricorn, the back feet is a tail.
Like a fish, right?
Like a fish.
I know. I just saw that like 2 months ago, and I'm like, what? How did I miss that? What is he doing with fish?
Right.
Okay.
That's the thing. How did you miss it? The Capricorn goat can climb up the mountain if the tail is connected to the earth, to the water, to the feminine, to the feelings, to the emotions. That it's not very stable, but it's the root for Capricorn. And if you can't connect, then you fall back down. So you connect.
That changes the whole feeling of Capricorn.
It definitely does.
Wow, 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 wow. Mm-hmm.
The tail is the deep-rooted feminine in the emotions, in the feelings, in the body, connected to the earth, connected to the flow. When you're with that, climbing up the mountain is very easy. Or at least it's possible. You can do it. You can climb. But if your root your flow is not connected, you keep tumbling back down. So we're experiencing that, and if we know that's what we're experiencing, we're like, okay, I think I got some work to do on the deep feminine.
Yes, yes.
That's what we're working on now, and that's what 2020 is really about. That's what the January 11th, Pluto and Capricorn will be conjunct together at 23 degrees Capricorn.
Will that be the Sun, Saturn, Pluto, or just Pluto and Saturn?
It's just Pluto and Saturn.
Okay.
The Sun will come in, but
Right.
it's the outer planets that have a long time to influence us.
Yes.
When they come together, they start a new cycle. Now we're in the ending of the old cycle, but they've already started to move close to each other, and they'll back off a little bit, but then they'll get closer again until there's the conjunction, which is officially the new beginning of the Saturn-Pluto cycle, which will be 33 years.
Wow. Now, I feel like this book is my favorite, and it is my my handbook for these times.
It is.
And I want to tell them the story I told you.
You tell me.
Yes. So I teach from this book every Tuesday, and then the big workshop. And this one Tuesday morning after sadhana, I'm looking for the book. It's always it's gone. I cannot find the book. It's like, how could it be gone? It's either in the bag I carry or right on my Kundalini bookshelf. And I'm looking, and my beloved Maharaj Singh, he has this little briefcase where half is yoga and then half is carpet cleaning in his life out there. And so I thought, well, I don't know, maybe he has it. So I call him, I said, do you have the gift of womanhood? And he's like, I don't know, let me look. He goes, oh yes, that is such a good book. I go, honey, that's the women's book, that's my book. He's like, oh well, I am finding lots of good creatives there. And he goes, and did you know there's like a lesson that goes with every single one of them? I'm like, I know. But it was interesting that he was so drawn to this wisdom. And just like in my heart, it just made me feel like celebrated that it is our polarities. We are, men and women, we are coming together and working on this together.
We're definitely working on it together. There's two polarities. One moves and one is stable. And both men and women have both polarities. In the past, we had the idea that women are the flowing polarity and men are the stable polarity. But without both, you can't be stable or flowing. So now we're realizing that we both need to integrate the higher expressions of both polarities to be women and to be men. It doesn't make us what we aren't. It makes us what we are.
They're asking what is the book. So this is called The Gift of Womanhood by GuruRattana. It's on her website. It's just yogatech.com. It's the best, Julia. You're going to freaking love this. I love this book.
I like it too. I love it too.
It's, oh my God. And so I'm going to tell one more thing and then I swear I shut up. So the other thing is she just covers so many good things, but one of the things that I've been swallowing like a bad bitter pill is what a fantasizer I am. So we had our little anniversary April 22nd, and I had this plan this day, and I got him to agree to go to this crystal healing, which was already out of Maharaj Singh's kind of deal, you know. But in my mind after that, we're going to be on the beach, we're going to eat lunch there, and then we're gonna hold hands. We gotta hold hands walking on the beach, you know, like the movies and the romance novels. Fantasy. Not that it's not good, ladies, but anyways. So we finished the crystal healing, and he had such downloads. He's so happy, and he's like, let's go to Yellow Deli, which is like right around the corner where we always freaking go. But he says, let's go to the Yellow Deli and walk on our trail, because that's earth, that's home, that grounds this experience. And so here's the gift of womanhood. Instead of doing what I've done so much in the past is force the fantasy, like, no, let's do, you know, and I probably could have pulled it off because he does what I say. but it wouldn't have been as good. And he didn't even know I was having that fantasy. I just checked myself and just felt like, what is really going to serve? And because of the discipline, love, and the way you discipline us too in this is so loving. Like, I never feel bad. I always feel like you're holding my hand like, it's all right. It's all right. So anyways, that's another one of my stories. It was awesome. Thank you. She saved our anniversary. Thank God. No.
She got out of the fantasy,
Yeah.
but actually she had a fabulous experience because he was in that space already. So you didn't have to force him being, oh, now you're going to be in another space. No, he was there.
Yeah, that's it.
So you picked up, he was already there. Oh, scrap the old plan. Let's move with what's actually happening because the love is present.
The love is present. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we think that, oh my gosh, we think in our fantasies that that's where we're going to find the love. And it actually takes us out.
Yeah, because the other person they're not in your fantasy. You know, you just flow into their reality. If it's a pleasant reality, if it's a love reality, and then you get what you want.
Yeah. So if you were going to say one thing in Kundalini that helps a woman the most, what would it be?
The most important thing for me is when I awakened my neutral mind and was able to be stable in my mind. Then I can relax into my flow, into my emotions, and the neutral mind, it doesn't have a judgment. You know, you can see, oh, this is a little weird what I'm doing, but you don't judge it. You don't get mad at yourself or down on yourself. Stability is the awakening to the divine. And it's the rabbit hole. It's where you move into connection with the universal energies. I mean, I work on it every single day. I worked on it every single day since I figured out. It took me a year. I'm like, it was 2002. Started in 2001. I'm like, something's the matter with me. Something is seriously the matter with me. I don't know what it is. What is it? And it took me a year. And finally, one day in my sadhana, I just got it. I don't have neutral. I don't have a stability in my psyche. And then I'm like, okay, that's your job. You work on it. That's how I could write Gift of Womanhood. That's how
you had no stability.
I couldn't do it without it because the information wasn't there because I didn't have the experience. Cultivate your neutral mind, your observer, your non-judgment, and you'll be fine. Of course, we have to work on everything all the time, forever, but we know what we're doing. That's huge, you know. It's not like all of a sudden you're enlightened, you don't have anything to do. No, a sadhana every day, believe me. After all these years, what I think is 42 years Kundalini Yoga, every day I work on it. But it's good. It's good. It takes you to where you want to go, and it leads you in the right direction, and you can love your path.
Mm-hmm.
You can relax. It's like, this works. That was the main thing for me in Kundalini Yoga. When I realized this works, then I could commit. Then I did. If you don't do it, it won't work. Not because it doesn't work, because you don't do it.
Right.
You have
That's
to
the
do
thing.
It.
I can't tell you how many students. Well, I'm like, do you do it at home at all? No. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that answers that question. So
It does.
I used to counsel people, and I'd say, do your yoga. Well, I still do through my astrology readings, but I used to say, do your yoga, then come to me. Otherwise, don't come. Because why? If you're not at least aligned energetically, then you're going to be in a funk.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I can't fix that. But if you do some yoga, get connected to yourself, then what's left is what we'll work on.
Yeah, you know, that is such a big point. You know, we are doing this practice.
Yes.
So it's like there's so much done already, and then you can really get to the good stuff. Otherwise, you're just in this rabbit hole of this same shit every day.
Right.
Where this sort of, you know, Kundalini breaks us out of that subconscious pattern.
Well, that's the whole thing. What's in charge? Your subconscious or your consciousness?
Right.
That's the whole thing. If your subconscious is in charge, which is what's happening right now, the past, we're looking at it. we're facing, it's like, oh my God, I'm doing this. Well, yeah, that's a subconscious program. Look at it and make a conscious decision. I'm not going to do it next time. If you do it, you make another decision and you keep practicing. We have to practice. We have to wake up. The whole thing is what's in charge. Subconscious programming, which includes fantasies, or your consciousness, which is your soul, which is your love, which is what you can give, what you can offer, which is your happiness.
Yeah.
Every day we practice and we practice.
So we're getting towards the end. GuruRattana, do you have any books on practices for couples, relationships, and sexuality? You do.
I do. I have a book called Sexuality and Spirituality.
Yeah, it's on there. Sexuality and spirituality. Venus Kriyas and lots of good wisdom about that. But this one will help a lot too.
And
there is one just about that.
There's a couple exercises in here for couples. And couples need to both look at this because then they know what they're working with. That book has, and Sexuality and Spirituality is also.
So
good.
Jim is saying he practices, and it helps him in with his subconscious. He came to you at the Soul of Yoga, and now Jim's wife is in the training. You're training with me right now.
Awesome.
Hi guys. So we're almost towards the end. Can you tell us a little tidbit? I know it's out. You have to read her blog because she does a blog. So right now the new moon Taurus energy is out there on. So you go to Yoga Tech in the blog. But can you give us a little wisdom about this Uranus Taurus and this month? Anything we should feel blessed by or be aware of? How to use it?
Taurus. Let me just say, there's my blog, GuruRattana blog. But on GuruRattana Facebook, I do live.
Okay, right.
GuruRattana live.
I'm going to start sharing them on ours so we can find each other. But
okay.
Go there too. No.
So that'll work.
Yeah.
So Taurus connects us with the body. So get connected, feel, get a massage, take a walk, take a sauna. Be connected to what you feel in your body. That's Taurus. And it's the earthiest, it's the body. It's take good care of yourself.
Okay.
And while the sun is in Taurus, we need to make decisions about our food. Diet. If you're eating junk, you can't have a good life. You will deteriorate. I hate to tell you this, but actually I'm happy to tell you that if you have a good diet, probably no cow dairy, no processed foods, no refined sugar, no junk, nothing that comes in a package. If you eliminate that and start eating real food, you can have a life. You don't have to die of dementia, of heart attack, of diabetes, of depression. I don't know if people die of depression, but anyway, it's not nice.
Well, yeah, it's just Jill's saying hi. You'd recognize Jill if you ever said, "Hey, Jill, we love you." Big love to Portland.
No,
okay,
it's so important. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't do my sadhana and have a good diet. So take care of yourself.
It's such a loving thing to do.
Yeah, it'll give you a life. You won't be depressed. You'll be happy. You'll be healthy. We need to be healthy. So that's the Taurus energy. Make decisions to take care of yourself for the rest of your life, and you'll have a great life.
All right. Well, I will put the link for the May blog in the comments, and you'll and we're going to have GuruRattana at the Great Divine Flow in June. You know how I always do the women's elevation? Well, it's going to be all this goddess here, and it'll be longer. It'll be 4 hours, not 2. And what else? Oh,
June
and
30th.
Yeah, June 30th she'll be back, but we'll be back at the first Monday in June, so we'll have a whole new things to talk about. And also, we are putting together an advanced training. So beginning in November, so it's going to be November, the first weekend is going to be November 10th, November 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's going to be, the first weekend is going to be veterans. It's really going to be she, he, and we. It's going to be a training about the divine feminine, the masculine, and our relationships with each other. You're going to love it. It's what drives us all crazy. And we're going to have this goddess's wisdom holding our hand and helping us elevate. That's going to be perfect timing because we're going to get a lot of love and wisdom and awakening right before the 2020 shift.
Yeah, and it's going to be Scorpio, so
deep. So we'll have a deep experience. So that's it for now. Thank you.
It's fun to be with you.
It's so much fun. So this is the book, everybody. And I love you. You know, you can always message me any questions. Sat Nam. See you soon.
Sat Nam.